Mm. Hello. Welcome to Rachel Hogan's Art. I'm Rachel Hogan, and I am working on this beautiful piece here, getting it all ready for a gallery to show. Hello, H8. Hi, welcome. Thank you for joining and popping in. It's really cool of you. Gonna give you a number one with thank you. You're my first one, so thank you. Creative vision, thank you. And I have a thank you for that as well. So thank you. See if I can angle this down just a teeny bit more. Yeah, I appreciate that comment. Yes, so I realized that I have 2 days to enter this show, and I am not quite ready. So I'm working on it tonight. I'm just kind of looking at it, seeing like, what do I need to do here? You know, what do I need to do to finish this piece? I was looking at it and it's, you know, there's nothing down here. This flower's kind of flat, and this flower's kind of flat. So I really need to, you know, brighten that up a little bit. So we don't want flat flowers. Well, I don't know. Maybe some people like flat flowers. I'm not a flat flower girl myself. Um, but I am going to turn the camera around for just a moment just to say hello. I don't know if you can see me or not, but hi, here I am. I'm kind of a mess today. I didn't have a lot to do. I mean, I didn't do a lot. I did a lot, but one of them was not making myself absolutely gorgeous for this. So, anyway, back to our awesome painting. All right, there you go. And okay, so also I need a name for this. If you want to help me pick a name, I would love to hear any ideas you have. And I'm thinking we're going to add, I'm getting my palette ready here. This is one I've kind of scraped off some of the paint. Um, it's just, I don't even know if this is oil or acrylic at this point. I'm just kind of scraping off some old paint because I don't want to reuse, get out a whole nother palette paper. Hi, beautiful. Oh, well, hello. Thank you. Not so beautiful tonight. So I'm staying off screen. And even though it was a cooler day today, honestly, oh, and I got my St. Patrick's Day scrunchie. I couldn't find any St. Patrick's Day stuff, so I just found a scrunchie with little clovers on it. So, happy St. Patrick's Day. DP with DJ. DJ, hi. Love this image. Thank you. I'm finishing this because I need to enter it and I have it all posted and entered within 2 days. And she's not quite popping yet, so I'm working on getting her to pop. And I've had a rough couple of days, or rough week, rough couple of weeks, I guess. You know, we all have our days where things go well and sometimes things don't go well. Let's see, yellow ochre. It's a little bit off of this, so I'm going to use some of that. Picking out my colors here. I'm just kind of enjoying that process of choosing colors. Right now I'm using a scraper. I just want to get some of this old paint off of here. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit so you can see that I am scraping off this old paint. It comes off real easy. That way I can reuse my palette paper. Isn't that fun? Just, there goes the razor. It should be fit in there nicely. And it should not come out. I think maybe this has to be screwed in tighter. Oh, there it goes. Okay. So just a little bit more scraping. Sometimes I just really enjoy scraping off old paint. For some reason, it's kind of therapeutic for me because I like to watch the palette turn white again. So tonight is not going to be like a super duper like, hey, let's find something to paint. Like sometimes it is. It's going to be more of, you know, just finishing this up, picking some colors. And this is just a regular old scraper I use. And DJ, I did watch your thing today. You were unboxing some products, and you were talking about some butterflies you were doing. It's migraine day for me today. Oh, that's what I woke up with, a migraine, like all day. It was just the worst, worst headache, and it took me forever to get rid of it. And I don't usually get headaches. However, I did today. I woke up with it and it didn't seem to get much better. Um, so yeah, it was one of those kind of days. And she's got pink lips. Maybe I should do a little pink, but there's already pink there. But I might add a little blue to that pink just to tone it, add a little dimension or a little shading to that. Um, let's see, brilliant blue, our favorite ultramarine blue. Bookmarks for your upcoming class for seniors. Oh yeah, that sounds really cool. Bookmarks are fun and they're easy to make. So how did you get involved with that? I've had migraines for over 50 years. Oh, you poor thing. All right, I've got a few colors here. So now I'm going to go ahead and grab a brush and we're going to start painting. But yeah, I'd love to hear. That's really cool that you do a class for seniors. Let's find a little brush. One other fun thing is picking out a brush to start. I like this one. It's got a good point on it. So I'll be able to get in there and do some detail work. So right now I'm going to mix a little bit of this yellow and a little bit of this yellow ochre. So I'll get a couple different shades from that. And I should angle my painting down a little more, maybe so I can reach it better. And I have my trash can on the wrong side of me. So, right. So here goes something. I'm just adding, it's just a little bit darker of the yellow. I'm going to bring this in a little bit more. You can see the color on there. I prayed about it for months, and that's where God led me. Oh, and that must have been for your class. Well, good for you. It's good to be led somewhere. Now, I don't want too much color over all of it, but I am going to do some color on some of it. And I'm pretty sure this was an acrylic painting. I switched back and forth from acrylic to oils quite a bit. And in fact, before we're done, if I have some of the people on here that have been watching me paint my octopus painting, I will show you where it's at right now because it's really cool looking. If you like octopus, octopi, whatever you want to call them. I've never had an octopi. Okay, so here we're just adding a little bit of darker yellows. So it's just kind of like almost an orangey color. Now, since I'm switching from oil to acrylic, I have to remember that these are going to dry really fast and that I need to do work in layers, where oils you don't have to work in layers so much. You just blend everything while it's still wet, and that's very helpful. So hopefully you can see this color difference here. And I'd like to give a shout out to my girl Kelsey. I don't know that she ever watches this, but she is seriously working and doing her workouts on YouTube right now and working on getting back in shape this year. And she's doing a great job. And I just wanted to give her a shout out because I'm so proud of her. It's not easy trying to get back in shape. And, it's easy to gain weight, but it is definitely not fair that it's so hard to lose it. um, That octopus is awesome. Oh, thank you. Oh, you can definitely see the color change. Thank you, DJ. Okay. Now, I don't know how many or if anyone's really watching it. Now I'm going to add a little bit of blue over here to this yellow color because I want some darkness in that flower petal. You can see that's a little bit the same color, so we'll add a little bit more blue here. And true, not always true. I can't gain for anything. You can't gain weight? There are people who can't. That's a nice high metabolism. I can do both. I can gain quickly and I can lose quickly. So let me pull this back here. I'm always messing with my camera. I think that might drive some people a little bit wacky. I know it would drive me wacky. I like things steady. So I kind of drive myself wacky, I guess. And this is a shade from that petal. And this one's kind of shadowing this petal here and this petal. But also has a center. So we're going to give our little petals a center. And some shading. Just like that, nice and easy. But I've been missing my peeps. I know it's St. Patrick's Day today, and hopefully, and this is my green I found. It's got little clovers on it. It's a scrunchie. And since you can't see my hair, I'm just wearing it on my hand. And we want this petal to be very shaded from this leaf here. But also have a center. And this is shaded from that petal and with the center. So we're bringing all that up there. TJ, it can be a curse if the doctor says you have to gain 30 pounds to have your surgery done. I really don't think I've heard anyone say you have to gain weight, especially 30 pounds. And I did see a green X on your hand, but I didn't know if that was a tattoo. So I hope that was, what is that for anyway? Should I ask? Okay, now these flowers up here, you can kind of see the difference. I'm going to be moving my camera, which means it's going to flop around in a minute. So I should put a shirt on just in case. Oh, the green X was for St. Patrick's Day. Oh, gotcha. You drew an X, not a clover? And I do have a green heart, so here's green. And I do have my Irish beer, my Guinness, which I don't usually show people. I don't drink it though. Okay, I do a little bit. And it's funny because I never was a beer drinker my whole life. I never liked it. And oops, that's too dark. Let's add a little bit of a lighter color there. And let's see, now you can't see my mixing going on. There we go. Just a little bit darker, not too much. That way, we want the middle part to really stand out as the highlighted area for these flowers. And I think it's always good to have a bunch of different colors in a colorful painting because it adds variety. It makes your eye kind of zoom around to different things. Sometimes your eye won't know why it's looking around at different things, and sometimes it'll be like, oh, wait, look at that pretty color or that color. Or how did that get it? How did she get that to work in there? So it can be a variety of colors that really make your painting stand out. And when you use just basic colors, just yellow, red, blue, whatever, you can make a great painting that way too. But you really add a lot to it when you create extra colors. So I'm going to do that to all of these petals here. Bring it on over. A little bit more here. And DJ, I'm not an artist, LOL. You can draw a clover. You know what, DJ? I'm going to take a minute here and I'm going to help you draw a clover, okay? So get your pen ready or pencil or whatever it is you drew on your hand with. And we'll draw a clover together today. I think that'll be fun. What do you think? Yep, for it. We'll do a little St. Patty's Day clover lesson. Let me just finish up these little petals. Now here in the center, before this dries, I just want a little bit of variance, not too much. So I'm just going to add a little bit on the one side, but not the other side. And same down here. I'm going to add a little bit. Let's see, let's get more paint on that brush because you can't see anything right now. Okay, here we go. So it adds just a little bit of change to that. And I'm doing it up here, and then I'm going to let that dry, and then I'll go over with that darker yellow ochre color. Okay, are we ready for our impromptu? You'll try, DJ? Okay, good, 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 good. I wish I could hear you guys. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Get your pen or pencil. I have a number 10. Just regular pen. And get your piece of paper ready. I have so much paper. Let's see here. Yeah, I'll use this one. This is a sketchbook someone got me. And it's just for dry media. And there's some kind of figure I was already drawing. And we'll make him look at a clover. So here's what we're going to do. This is an easy way to do a clover, okay? We'll see if you can draw a heart, you can draw a clover. Actually, he's kind of distracting, but you move that over a little bit. Okay, so instead of an X on your hand with green, oh, do I have green? Oh, actually, I have green. But use your pen, and then we can always add some green to that. Or you can use a green pen. I'll try same pen I have. Oh, this same one? Okay, good, good. Okay. So let's see, a clover, we can do a 4-leaf clover. So we'll draw an X like you had on your hand. Okay, let's make that a little bigger so it'll be easier to see for everybody. And then in the middle of that, draw a dot. In the middle of that line, draw a dot. Middle of this line, draw a dot. And in the middle of that line, draw a dot. So it's kind of like a cross with dots. Okay, how are we doing so far? We doing good? All right, next for this, we're going to go ahead and we're going to make this into a clover. All right, thanks, DJ. I don't know if anyone else is even on here, but I'm glad you are. The other guy was on here earlier. I don't know if he still is. It's hard to keep people's attention these days at HBLIZG8. And he did think my painting was creative, so that's awesome. Okay, so now we're going to make this cross or X or plus or whatever you want with these dots into hearts. So just draw a loop like that and like a little arch and then an arch to the other side. I'll give you a second. And we're going to do that with all of them. And so we're going to draw an arch up and down to that dot. And from that dot or from the line, whichever way you want to go, you draw another arch. And we have half a four-leaf clover. Simple, right? And this is practice, and it doesn't have to be perfect. So, oh, you're done? Oh, okay, I'm doing slow. Let me draw another arch and another arch. Look at that, three-leaf clover. Any tip for making a perfect star? Oh my goodness, that's a whole nother story. Okay, so here's our four-leaf clover. And draw your little stem on it. And here's the leaf. Now all you got to do is add your green. And we've got our St. Patty's Day four-leaf clover. How easy was that? And how fun. I'm actually having more fun doing this. I'll do anything to distract myself from what I should be doing, which is really bad. Which is why I haven't finished these paintings for my show, and I have to have them done before the end of 2 days. So here's our little clover. So see, DJ, that was pretty easy, right? This is a different green. And some grass. Okay. Thank you. Here in bed, not coloring. Well, that's me. I always have to color things in. Okay, let's get back to this little thing here we're working on. And yes, I do have tips for painting or drawing a perfect star, which we can work on another time. But before my paint dries here, I'm going to go ahead and get back to that. I'll email it to you. Oh, cool. Thank you. Okay. I kind of wish I had a very different, maybe if I move this thing here. There we go. All right. So let's do, what are some other things? I was going to do a little bit darker shading on the petals. And so I'm using this little bit of green I had with this little bit of yellow ochre, but it's lighter than the other ones since it's higher up on the canvas. I didn't want it too as dark as the ones down here. So now we're going to go ahead and add a little bit of darkness to that stem on the leaves. Just a teens. Bringing it across and down. And same over here. And I am working dry paint on top of dry paint, so it makes it a little easier to get those colors where I want them. I'm finding it's much easier. I start so many paintings and don't finish them, but now that the paint's dry, it's actually easier to finish them because I'm painting wet on dry, just like that. And a little touch of dark here and there. I'm just going to put a little dullness in there. Not too much. And then I'm going to darken it up a teeny bit toward the base. And this is working wet with wet because I want that color to blend a little bit. And it's underneath of that petal, so this needs to be darker. When anything's underneath something else, it should be a little bit darker than the thing above it, including this petal here and this one here. So there we go. And that kind of brings this eye out over here. Have coloring books. Hello, hello. Welcome. Oh, and thank you for that comment. Did you see DJ's and we went over how to draw a clover, a four-leaf clover together. And by the way, DJ, your nails looked really cool. I like the color you had them painted. Okay, so we added a little dimension on the flowers there, which I like. And now we're gonna go ahead and add, I'm gonna do something with her hair. And then the last thing will be down here in the corner. It's just blank. And, maybe I'm just gonna, right now, I'll just throw in some blue. I'm impromptuing it. Um, Impromptuing, there we go. I think that's a word, right? You'll be changing it next week. Oh, okay. Okay, so I'm just using some straight blue and I'm gonna add some yellow. I'm scooping up some yellow and I have blue on my brush and that's gonna make the green I want. But it's gonna be nice and dark. And we're gonna add, let's see, can you see that? I'm just adding some dark green down here in the corner. Because I do not like to have empty spots. And this is a very opaque color that you can see through. So these are probably going to be leaves here. And I'll add another leaf here. This is impromptu leaves. I'm going to use some dark blue. To get the shape of the leaf in that I want. And then I'll let that dry. And then add some details. And I'm going to put some really dark blue down here in the crevices of the leaf. There we go. Great color palette. Thank you, Laura. I've been trying so hard to keep up with all the people that have subscriptions to. A little bit darker here because I really need to have some colors popping out here and there. So I'm putting darker colors just around the lower sections, especially under this eye. Need some shading here. And I'll add a little bit more water and just kind of smoosh that around. There we go. And as always, I like to use my fingers just to smush it in the way I want it to go. Sometimes it works better than other times. But like I said, I'm working dry on dry or wet on dry. So that's one thing that's important to remember because when you're working wet on wet, it's going to blend quite a bit better than when you're working wet on dry. Oh, and I had a question for you ladies. When you are done with your diamond paintings, what do you do with them? Like I have my mermaid I did, and I don't know what the heck to do with her. Like she's just flopping around, not doing anything. There, add a little dimension in here, little darkness. And blend that down a little bit. Same over here. Just get a little bit of darker underneath of her. There, I like that. Okay. Now she has quite a bright forehead, I noticed. Now I want to get this hair a little bit darker. But since I got the pink out already, I'm going to use this pink on her lips and go over her lips one more time. So I want to get a really nice lip look. And then we'll add a little blue to that. For those low lights. Just on the bottom, maybe a little bit more blue here. Get that mixed in nice. What is that, DJ? My so-called art has been emailed. You have hundreds stored. Oh my gosh. And you've sold some, which, oh, congratulations. That's awesome. And you framed yourself and you're hanging on the walls, and many have been done for gifts. That's wonderful. Yeah, I do a lot of gifting as well. Um, my question was like, one of you gals, I think it was Laura, maybe mentioned that when you're done with the diamond painting, you put in like Mod Podge over it or some kind of sealer, I think it was, to seal it up and maybe to keep all of all the diamonds from falling off. Maybe it helps them stick on better or something like that. So I think that's my question is like, do you put Mod Podge over it or some kind of a varnish or something? Some of my friends got snow last night too, which is pretty crazy. I went to bed, woke up with snow on the ground. Now we don't want her teeth to be too white, so I'm gonna shade those in. I will need a little bit of white. And I'm gonna make like a little bit of a light blue gray color. So I'm gonna use some of my yellow ochre, a teeny bit of blue, teeny bit more blue, and clean that brush off. And then we'll add some white to it. I'm gonna make 2 globs of white because I might get the color right the first time and I might not. So that's always something to work on. So if I need more white, it's there. But I think I did a good job right now. It looks like a nice grayish color. And I'm just gonna put it right over where her teeth are. And actually in her hairline a little bit. I'll do a little more green or blue for that. And a little bit of yellow, 'cause I like a skin color that's very green. Okay, so you do seal the ones you frame or gift, and the sealer is from Amazon, a clear liquid sealer. What brand is it, if I could ask? We got that fluffy white stuff too, grr. Fluffy white stuff. Hi, Candy Hearts Art. Oh wow, that's so cool, Rachel. Thank you, Candy Hearts. And welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm gonna give you a heart, a St. Patrick's Day welcome heart. Thank you for joining, Candy Hearts. Um, and my skin color isn't working because I used orange, I think, for that, and I don't have any orange out, so I'm gonna add a little bit of light pink to this mess here. I think that's what then add a little bit of blue to that. Okay, yeah, that works, that works. A little bit more blue. She needs a shadow under her hair. And I am gonna enter this, and I have 2 days left, so that's why I'm, like, working on this tonight. And getting some of the shading going on over here. And also under her fingers. Which actually, if you look at these hands, you'll see that they're not actually her. This hand could not possibly be her hand. And if you look at it, maybe you'll see why. I'm not going to tell you, but if you figure it out, that's cool. And if you don't, that's cool too. It's a secret, which is why it adds interest to the look of this art. There's just something about it that's it's wrong, but it looks like it should be right. Alrighty. And she also looks really sad over there. Let's see if I can use some of this green color. Yeah, that's good. All right. We'll call this our St. Patty's Day green. And like I said, the more colors you have, the more interest there is in to look at a painting. Same with diamond painting. Use quite a lot of different colors for diamond painting, right? And usually right next to each other, and it really, really makes a huge difference in the look of your diamond painting as well as your oil paintings, acrylic paintings, and watercolors. Yeah, we'll make that a little darker over here. I don't know if you can see my color palette or not. Um, let's see. DJ, email me and I will look tomorrow or send you a picture of it. Okay. Candy, thank you. I'm currently moderating my husband's live stream, but saw you were live and wanted to show some love. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. Oh, I didn't know your husband live stream Candy Hearts. Oh, I'd love to see what he does. That sounds really interesting. And fluffy white stuff that comes out of sky in winter. Oh, snow. Yeah, I don't. Oops, sorry. I said it. I'll take it back. DJ, you enjoy confetti heavy diamond paintings for that reason, always changing the colors. Oh, very cool. I don't know a lot about those, but I like that idea. All right, let's give her more of a nose. Just going to shade this in a little bit more. Getting these colors to work, and it's helpful to get enough of the color that you want so you don't have to keep mixing it. I was just doing a little bit at a time. So I wasn't sure how much I would need, so that's always something to consider as well. And then right in through here, we're gonna shade that up a little bit more, right under her hand or her finger there. kind of giving her a different look. And I think it's definitely looking a little bit more finished, which was my goal here, 'cause it was just so bright. Where did that peach go? Pink. And while that's wet, we want to get that mixed in really good and take down a little bit of the color of that brightness. Although I do like the brightness, it's really, really bright. And I like to tone it down just a teeny bit. Just a teeny bit, not too much. And bring that around. Yeah, and perfect. We did talk about drawing a perfect star earlier, and actually, there are so many different ways you can draw a perfect star. But that's something, and everyone has a different way to do it as well. Now, I've been using the same brush the whole time, and right now I need to use um, a different shaped brush and a little wider brush because I'm not getting the blending that I want to get in there. So I'm going to switch to this soft brush here, and it's got a little bitty different shape to it, and it's going to spread that color around a little bit better. There we go. Hold that brush up real good. Yeah, I like that. A little bit more blending going on. And bringing it down over here. Nice. Okay, now I wanted her eyes to stand out a little more. So what I'm going to do is use this is a phthalo green and a white, but because I don't want to pull out too many colors tonight, I only have a couple minutes left. I'm going to cheat and use a pre-mixed color, adding some white in there. And we're going to just draw a little bit of a line there. Kind of get that eye to pop out a little more. And the same with the other eye. A smaller brush would be best, but I am just going to dab a little here and dab a little there. I want to get that color in there. That's pretty cool. Have coloring, but Laura, sorry to hear your head is hurting, DJ. Oh, yes. Migraine today. I had a horrible headache all day. It was terrible. And I hope you feel better tomorrow, DJ. And I hope you feel better tonight, even. Nothing's worse than when you're in pain. All right, now this one I'm going to do just a little bit of teal around the outside there. So feel better, girl. And we're going to add a little bit of a lighter teal just in here because I want to brighten this eye up as well. And then we'll get back to the flowers at the bottom because that's what I wanted to finish up. And I'm going to use my flatter brush, this brush here for that green color. So we're going to add a little bit of blue to our yellow and whoops, a little bit more water to keep all that from drying up. Which it kind of is trying to do right now. All right. As I recall, I did have a awesome acrylic pens that I was using for my leaves right here. I'm in love with these pens. These are amazing. They're Sharpie acrylic markers, and they are super awesome. All right, I'll check for emails tomorrow, DJ. You have a good night. Get some rest. Feel better. Thank you for joining me tonight, even with your headache. Okay, so for this part, I'm going to put this down on my down flat so I can see it better. And we'll add a little bit more light here. And let's get in this some beautiful color with our pens, our little Sharpies. These to me are a lifesaver, especially when it comes to details. And I just have to remember how I did this. It was like, oh yeah, like that. And then here's another leaf over here. And also, I'll turn this a little bit. I need more room. I swear I never have enough room. No matter how much room I have, I always need more. All right, bringing this up and around. We've got that color in there. And I really need to get these done for that show because I have been a member of this particular venue for quite some time, and I have not entered one thing yet into it. A lot of the problem is filling out paperwork and entry forms and things like that, which can be a headache. Okay, let's dry that off. And in the meantime, I can kind of brighten up this yellow here because I do want to have this nice and bright. Just where the light's hitting it. Same with these. A little bit brighter at the tips. And here, I'm letting that dry, so we're just highlighting some of these petals where the light would be hitting them. And the same with the leaves. I'm going to just add a little bit of highlight to these leaf stems. And I think it really does make quite a bit of difference. When you have some highlights like that. Let's see, I put the dark down there, so I'm going to put our light side up here, just toward the top. And same with all the other little leaves. Just going to add a little bit of highlight there. And also in our flowers. Our flower petals needs a little more highlights. And that's where the light's hitting them. Isn't she looking pretty? And this one too, we're gonna go ahead and add a little bit more here. Just brighten that up. I know this painting isn't perfect, but I'm not going to stress about it, and I'm still going to enter it into the show because I'm not sure what perfect is. What is perfect anyway? All right, now let's go ahead and we'll add our yellow to the leaves down here. And there's the stem. Just like that. Here's the stem. And we're just going to add our color in here. Not too much down at the bottom, more at the top. And I do have to hold my hand a certain angle because otherwise it will, I don't know, it just looks funny. Yeah. So I think that looks a lot better now. She's got some more color down here. The eyes showing. We've got, what else can we throw in here before we end our stream tonight? All right, I'm playing with my brushes and markers while I'm procrastinating on it. I guess I could do like an orange highlight in her hair. Wait, oh, there was green on that. Uh-oh. You see, there was green on my orange pen. That's okay. We'll just make it look like it's supposed to be there and put this orange highlight right there. And a little bit over here as well. Bring some of that down here. And add a little red. Looks really fun. And these are acrylic markers. with a fine point. All right. Definitely made some type of difference there. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me tonight. It was such a pleasure having you here. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And she looks much more finished now. And we'll put a glaze over the top of this. Beautiful, beautiful lady. And I also have to think of a name for her. So if you do think of a name, please add it into the community chat or in the comments below, because I will be checking that. I also will be checking my emails to see if anyone is interested in purchasing this little lady before she goes on display. I haven't really thought of a good name yet for her. Oh, yes, I did. It was Don't Take That Eye. Or Please Don't Take That Eye. One of those. So that was it, because it looks like it's going to take her eye. That hand is getting ready to do that. And we just don't want it to. Or she doesn't anyway. And a little white highlights as well. Throw in a couple of those. Loving this pen. This is a detailed acrylic pen. And I'm going to just add a little bit of shine on her teeth. Just a little bit. And all the eyeballs need reflections. So let's do that. And a little reflections on her upper lip here. And same for her lower lip. Let's add a little bit in there. Nice light touch helps quite a bit if you can do it. And a couple dots. Alrighty. And there we have it tonight, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. And we will see you on Thursday. I'm also starting to stream on TikTok now. So TikTok is going to be a new platform for me, which I'm excited about. I'm already getting a good response there. Especially from TikTok itself, which I was surprised. I was a little bit nervous about it, but I think that that it's actually working out better for me than I thought it would. And that's always a good thing. All right, you guys have a great night. We're ending the show. Love you all. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate you, and we'll see you on Thursday.